Things about this artificial slave owner society, it definitely had a lot of the masses that be in humanoid form to be very complacent in the slave owner's way of thinking. Because, with the slave owner's way of thinking to live in this artificial matrix that's not real, it caused a lot of these humanoid citizens to be very complacent in their way of thinking. That's not their true way of thinking, and they don't think for themselves, because when one don't even think for themselves and they be so complacent in the slave owner's way of living and thinking, it leaves it leaves no room for evolvement. It leaves no room for advancement. It leaves no room for improvement, because complacent is the opposite of perfection, when perfection means evolvement, improvement, and imagination, advancement. You feel me? So, like, that's one thing I had on my brain, my all seeing, my heart and soul eye, that just like really, really thought about out of the blue from intuition. You feel me? And let me tell you something. This is the reason why these slave owner religion indoctrinations have definitely caused a lot of the humanoid citizens that's living on planet Earth, even the alternate timeline versions of planet Earth, of these humanoid citizens, that slave owner religion indoctrinations cause a lot of them to be very complacent in the slave owner's way of thinking, because a lot of these religion indoctrinations cause a lot of humanoids to not have no imagination to evolve their all seeing my heart and soul eye intelligence, because a lot of the woke religious communities, it caused a lot of these humanoids to put some faith in some saviors that never existed, that was created by these slave owners, with these false hope cope mechanisms that doesn't even help a lot of the multiverse and the soul beings to rise and be healthy and be healed from these slavery corruptions that's going on in the multiverse. You feel me? This is the reason why, without imagination, no way that we could have new soulful frequency inventions to be projected to exist in the multiverse. You feel me? A lot of religions, cause a lot of biological families to be very complacent and be very, very, very slave indoctrinated, which cause a lot of your biological cousins, uncles, aunties, mom, and dads, if they not of one of these spiritual beings, it causes them to be very, very complacent and be caught up in the slave owner's way of thinking. That's not their true thinking, you know, because it's no fun when you can't evolve your imagination and come up with new inventions and be a creator to be able to make a huge healing soulful frequency evolvement to the multiverse, or quote unquote change or whatever. You feel me? So that's what all I gotta say right here, man. And let me tell you something. Anything that the slave owners be trying to do to cause a lot of soulful vibrational beings to be seen as psychiatric ward, crazy house people, because we soul beings refuse to be complacent in a slave owner's way of thinking and only have our own way of thinking to evolve and increase our imaginative powers within our all seeing mind, heart, and soul eye power, so we can heal the multiverse with our soulful frequency talents. Man, let me tell you something, man. If a person choose to be complacent in the slave owner's way of thinking with these religions, they would really be the ones that would have to be go into the psychiatric wards if we want to be technical. But to be fair, to be very direct, these slave owners, man, they really make me sick. They really tick me off, because let me tell you something. Me, I could not ever be a complacent person. I had to evolve my heart and soul eye powers to have new soulful inventions, because that's what makes me a living being. Because I wouldn't be a living being. I wouldn't feel like I'm living if I be complacent with these religion indoctrinations, whether it's old age or even new age spirituality trends made by these slave owners. These slave owners don't like to see the multiverse be healed by these soul beings, because the slave owners, they know the soul beings literally don't like to be complacent in way of thinking of the slave owners, because slave owners don't want a lot of these humanoid citizens on planet Earth, especially all these different humanoid extraterrestrial citizens, regardless of what alien species they are, that's living on planet Earth, to have their own imagination and their own mind, heart, and soul, eye, brain. But that's all I gotta say, man. Because let me tell you something. Anything the slave owners try to ruin that soulful beings create, we soulful beings will destroy these slave owners. Seriously, because we soul beings are creators of our soulful inventions, and we will be destroyers to these demonic slave owners that try to ruin what we soulfully create. That's all I gotta say.